Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today I'm doing a video on adding an extra channel or an extra preamp to your existing amp using just a couple of pedals. What we've got on the board here today is a Boss line selector which switches between a couple of loops, and I'm using the Joyo American to add a clean sound to my 6505 Plus. Now I can use the 6505 with a crunch and the lead channel. I'm going to use them as like a rhythm crunch and like a lead. Use the lead channel for a lead channel and use the Joyo American for a clean. I'll give you an idea of how it sounds as the moment. You can hear it's quite a clean sound. And that's the Joyo. And I can manipulate that however I want. Boost the lows, cut the mids. But I'm pretty happy with that. And now when I switch my line selector, currently on the crunch channel, so I've got that set up for like a rhythm crunch. And then I could use my PV foot switch, or to switch by hand in this case, to the lead channel and get a higher gain sound suitable for leads or high gain crunch. And at the touch of the foot switch, go back to our clean sound. It works really flawlessly, to be honest, and turns this into a complete 3-channel amp. Whereas, although the crunch channel is usually foot switchable with the PV, you kind of go from that kind of crunch sound, and that becomes your clean. That's your clean sound. It's not that clean. A lot of guys don't really like that. So this way it goes from a true crunch to a true clean sound. The other advantage of this is I can put other pedals in the loop. So for example, with a clean sound now, I can put this tri-mod pedal in, which has chorus and reverb. And now my clean sound, when I switch to it, is clean with chorus and reverb. And as soon as I switch the line selector, we're back to our crunch sound and the reverb and chorus is gone. It works really well. And we can still use our effects loop for things like delay. So now I have a delay on the clean, but this will always be on whatever the status of pedal is. If it's on, it'll be on whatever sound you've got. So I can still have a delay sound on my lead channel, for example. So here's what the board looks like. It's not at all pretty, and if I was going to do this as a permanent rig, I would definitely wire it a lot neater and do things a bit differently, but it all works great. The main part that we need to worry about here is this Boss line selector pedal and the Joyo American. What we're essentially doing is switching between two loops. There's a loop A, center return A, center return B, and then our input and output. And when you press this pedal, it switches between loop A and loop B. So in loop A, I have the preamp of the 6505. And in loop B, send and return, I have the Joyo American. So we're essentially switching between the amp's own preamp and the Joyo American is what I'm using for the clean sound. The wiring of this setup is a little hard to explain, and it took me a while to get my head around it as well. So here is a picture of where all the cables go to and from. You can pause it or screenshot it and follow it. Also, you don't have to use the Boss line selector. Any loop switching type pedal that can switch between two loops will do this, and as long as your amp has an effects loop. So for this example, I've put a clean preamp pedal in there, but you could also do it with an amp. Maybe you like the clean sound and it has a rock crunch sound, but it doesn't have a high gain sound enough for leads or similar. You could use, instead of the Joyo here, a higher gain, a lot of the Moore preamp type pedals, which are a higher gain sound, and we could switch to that for a high gain sound. Hope this has been handy for you. I'll leave you with some tones.